Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions from the worlds of social media, sports, pop culture. Really excited to introduce three members from the USA Hockey's National Team Development Program. We do this every year. We did it last year and recently uploaded our U-17. It's our U-18 panel, so I'm quickly going to get my guests to introduce themselves, and then we'll get into it, starting with Joel.
I'm Joel Farabee. I'm from Cicero, New York, and I'm committed to Boston University.
I'm Bode Wilde. I'm from Montreal, Quebec, and I'm committed to the University of Michigan.
I'm Oliver Wahlstrom. I'm from Quincy, Massachusetts, and I'm committed to Harvard.
Very cool, very cool. I mean, just a little bit of icebreaker we always do. I mean, we'll start with Oliver. I mean, when was kind of the moment where you decided that you wanted to play hockey? Was there a specific player you were watching? Was there a specific moment in your life where you started playing, whether it was like Pee Wee or Adam, where you're like, wow, this is awesome, I really want to do this?
Yeah, I started at a young age. My dad, grew up watching my dad when he played pro in Sweden, and, I just fell in love with it from there. And, I got my first pair of skates when I was 3, and my dad would always make a rink in the, backyard, and I'd go out and skate every day. And once I got on my first team, I just started falling in love with it, and, it's just carrying on a long way.
Joel, what about you?
Yeah, something a little similar. I have 2 older brothers that play. Both my brothers right now are playing Division III hockey, but also similar to Oliver. As soon as I got on my first team, it kind of just took off from there.
And Bode, what about you?
My dad's a big hockey fan, and he didn't play at a high level or anything, but he was my real influence that got me into the game. So he just his passion for it got me feeling the same way. And just like these two, I just fell in love with it.
For sure. It's a pretty big year for all three of you because it is your NHL draft year, but at the same time, you guys have to kind of be focused on the task at hand, which is the USA National Team Development Program under 18. You guys have a lot of tournaments, you guys have a lot of big games, but I'm sure it's kind of in the back of your mind going forward and kind of gives you that motivation. Oliver, can you use that motivation every day, like the big tournaments and the NHL draft? Can you use those kind of big key events to kind of, do you think, give you motivation and confidence throughout the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, having the draft come up and, playing these tournaments with this team. It's really fun, and, it's just it's a special experience, to go overseas and play, other kids, other age groups, Sweden, Russia, and, that gets us going, in practice. We're excited to go overseas and play those guys, and, you want to perform well, so it's very exciting.
And what about for your Bode? Like, do you like the pressure? Do you feed off it? Like, how are you dealing with that kind of pressure and hype, so they say?
Yeah, like Ollie was saying, just like competitiveness in practice, and just, making sure you're working hard, because that just your practice habits, they translate in the game, and with just as much as we're being watched, it's good to perform well in practice so that it translates and you do as well in games.
And Joel, maybe a little bit of the same thing, but are there some things specifically for Joel Farabee that you do to kind of stay focused and dialed in?
I mean, nothing really specific comes to mind, but there was a reason we were all picked for this team. We all can handle the pressure. It's what we thrive in. So but yeah, it's really exciting. You're practicing against the best guys in the country, so you're getting better every day. And the draft's definitely in the back of our heads, but really we're just focusing on how we can get better and what we can do as a team to be the best we can be.
Absolutely. Now this is the time in the panel where I have a specific question tailored for all three of you. Oliver, we'll start with you. You might know where this is going. There might or might not be a video of you when you were younger on the internet that doesn't seem to leave hockey Twitter ever. and it's one of those things where I don't think I've ever I might or might not have seen you on like an interview talking about it, but I mean, for people that don't know what I'm talking about, what am I talking about, and how do you feel about that video just being everywhere?
I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, it was special for me that doing that little trick there at the mini one-on-one. You know, I just want to have fun with it. You know, so I went down, picked it up, twirled it, and it went in, and I was shocked. I mean, it's a pretty low percentage move, and when I saw it go in, it's pretty cool. And then the fact after it, how it just went viral, was pretty cool. And I went on talk shows and stuff, and learning about that stuff at a young age was pretty cool for me.
For sure. And Bode, couple of things. I believe your mother was a skier, correct?
Yeah.
And you are, I mean, are you indeed named after Bode Miller? Is that a myth or is that true?
Yeah, the way my mom tells it is, I think she's a little older than him, but she skied when he was a teenager. She was maybe in her 20s, and they skied together. So she kind of knew him, and then when she was pregnant with me, my dad was working at a ski shop, and she picked up a magazine and saw the name again, and just thought it would be a good one.
And Joel, you were committed to Boston University. A lot of your past teammates are there right now. Brady Tkachuk is one of them. Do you kind of look at players that you've played with or that you haven't played with that are at Boston University, and do you kind of does it motivate you knowing that you're kind of part of a crop of like elite skilled players that kind of get to be a Terrier? Does that come to mind lately? I mean, I know you're not there yet. You're focusing on the season like we talked, but talk a little bit about that.
I mean, I definitely played with a couple guys who are there now. Brady Tkachuk, Logan Cockrell, David Ferentz are all great players last year, so that was a pretty cool experience. And I'm just really excited to go there. I don't really, like compare myself to them, but I'm definitely striving to be the best player I can be. So, when I step in next year, I can make a difference.
Absolutely. There is a lot of people on social media, especially with we mentioned it, the NHL draft. I'm sure when the U-18s come around, it's gonna like explode. I mean, social media is a big component to your everyday lives as hockey players and future pro hockey players. We'll start with Oliver. How are you kind of taking social media in? I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons, but do you find it more distraction? Do you find there's more pros than cons, more cons than pros? What do you think about social media? Because there's so much out there.
Yeah, I mean, I do my best to try to tune it out and just, go day by day, take one step at a time every day, there's always people out there doubting you and stuff. And, you just got to tune that out and focus on, your next day and what you can do to get better. But obviously, there's some pros with social media and cons, and you just gotta, be careful of that stuff and, keep it quiet.
Bode, what about you?
Yeah, like Ollie was saying, you just stuff can show up, and then you're kind of under a microscope with that in terms of just what teams look at in the draft. So you don't want to accidentally have anything like that associated with you if it's not something that should be, even if it's by accident. So you just got to be careful of things like that. And then in terms of anything that's being written about the draft and that, you just kind of want to tune that out and just try and do what you can on the ice and not worry about what everyone's saying.
Joel, I guess similar feelings towards that whole conversation with social media?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. We're kind of under a microscope, so you got to be smart what you post and what you don't. I think it's not too hard for us. We just want to be hockey players right now. We're not really, the type of people that are going to post something wrong. But you definitely got to think about it because, like you said, we're under a microscope. So, and the internet's forever, so you can't take those things back.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna have a little bit of fun, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to say something. I'm gonna say who has the best blank, and I want to go around the panel, and I want you to tell me. And it doesn't have to be someone who's on this panel right now. It could be anyone on your team, on the U-18 teams. But I'm gonna say who has the best, smile or like something like that. And I want to know I want to see if there's gonna be one person that said 3 times. So Bode, who has the best laugh on the United States National Development Team Program U-18?
Eric Middendorf, absolutely.
Joel, do you agree with that?
You know what? I'm gonna go off here, and I'm gonna say Tyler Weiss has the best laugh. Kid makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Oliver?
I gotta go with Eric Mittendorf. That kid's just obnoxious and laughs all the time. So
Okay, now and we'll start with Oliver, and we'll do Joel and Bode. Who is the most competitive off the ice? So I'm talking video games. I'm talking ping pong. Like, who's the most competitive?
most competitive. Most competitive. I'd have to say Tyler Weiss because we play Xbox together, and now he's got to win in everything he does on Xbox. I gotta say him.
Joel, what about you? Who was the most competitive?
I'm gonna go with Oliver in this one. I mean, he knows he's the best ping pong player on the team. And, I'll play him, and I'm like the worst, and he just doesn't take it easy on me. He'll beat me like 21-0. It's unbelievable.
Bode, who do you think is the most competitive?
Trevor Janicki. Yeah, he just works hard all the time. Yeah.
And finally, last one, Bode, you'll start this one. Who's on their phone the most? And I feel like I'm going to say, based on what I see on social media, I'm going to say you. Because I feel like you're on social media a lot.
Oh, I feel like you might be right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it might be me. But I don't know. Adam Samuelson is on his phone a lot, so
Okay.
I'll say him.
Joel, do you agree with me with Bode, or is it someone else?
No, it's definitely Bodie.
Brody for sure.
We're always sending each other videos and stuff and laughing. So yeah, but definitely Bodie.
Oh, no, I see that. Well, I think we'll wrap up, guys. But very quickly, first off, thank you all three for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. We'll start off with Oliver, then we'll do Joel, then we'll do Bode. Oliver, I just wanted to know, because there's a lot of people writing scouting reports about you guys, but I don't think you're ever given a chance to give your own scouting report of yourself. So I'm giving you the chance now. So what kind of player is Oliver Wahlstrom?
I think I see myself a big, strong, power forward who, has skill and creativity, and my big shot is my big advantage. Creating scoring chances all over the ice, and just being a threat everywhere.
Joel, what about you? What kind of player is Joel Farabee?
I think I'm a two-way forward. I think I have pretty good vision throughout the neutral zone and creating plays, and being reliable in the D zone. Someone, just like I said, just creating plays and letting the guys who can shoot, letting them score some goals.
Bode, finally, what kind of player is Bode Wilde?
I'd say I'm a offensive defenseman, but I get back and I can play good D too, and I can play a pretty physical game, and just I'm make good for first pass out of the D zone.
Really cool, really cool. And very quickly, where can people follow you guys on social media? What are your handles, Bode? Where can people follow you?
My Twitter handle is Bode Wilde 27 on Twitter, and then my Instagram is Bode Wilde 15.
Joel, what about you?
I think my Twitter is Farabee Joel, and then my Instagram is Joel Farabee. So
Oliver,
pretty easy.
where were
I
you?
think my Twitter is Wahlstrom Oliver. My Instagram is Wahlstrom 97.
Very cool. Well, Oliver, thank you so much for coming on the show. I wish you all the best, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
And Joel, thank you so much as well, and all the best.
Yeah.
And Bode,
Thank you.
all the best as well, and keep tweeting and keep posting things because we know you like that. But seriously, guys, I wish you all the best for the rest of your year and of course the NHL draft. So just enjoy it and just have a great time. This is exciting time, so I hope you all just embrace it and have fun with it.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Well, this has been Popternative. You catch previous episodes Popternative on YouTube, and you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Audio only versions on iTunes, so be sure to subscribe. Until next time, this is PD Beats, Oliver Wahlstrom, Joel Farabee, and Bode Wilde signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.